Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Rivas. I did my media article on an article I found in the Washington Post. I went to the Washington Post because it's what I'm the most comfortable and know the best, as I'm originally from Maryland. Anyways, this was a post speaking to what the Surgeon General had said about 6 to 10 months ago, in that the biggest threat to our public health, our general health, is not what we're really looking at right now in terms of we're looking at our cancer, we're looking at AIDS, diabetes, obesity, all these big hot button topics. And really, to the Surgeon General right now, over his review and collecting data throughout the United States, he has found that the most threatening thing to our public health is loneliness. Loneliness sparking from the lack of the human need to be needed. In terms of we're not meeting our needs anymore of social gathering, social collecting, being as a unit, not as an individual, and this prompts the feeling of loneliness. So I'm going to take this back a little bit and look at how epidemiology and the study of epidemics really brings this to light as a true disease state. So the Surgeon General was going throughout the United States, as he usually does, meeting with people, talking with TV shows, doing interviews, such and such, and he sees a lot of your big infectious diseases, but the one thing that he kept getting complaints about over and over again was loneliness. Now, here's the problem with loneliness, is it's hard to get a statistic on it because not many people are going to come out right away and say, I'm lonely. My disease is loneliness. We're taught to suck it up from a very young age. I mean, just think of being a kid playing your first sport or joining your first group. If you mess up, suck it up, keep going. Well, that mentality is carried throughout our lives, and people have that feeling of, well, I can't seek anybody out. So to him, this epidemic, he's found that in the United States alone, 33% of individuals are lonely. And this sparks from our technological advances in terms of that about every 5 minutes, people check their phone. So, and he had an age group statistic that from 18 to 29, we spend almost our entire day on the web in some kind. Now, yes, you're thinking, well, I have thousands of friends on Facebook or whatnot, but the Surgeon General is saying that that does not create the same response in our body. So loneliness actually sparks from a long time ago in our genetic code when we decided to form as groups. There was more food supply, there was better protection, there was safety in numbers. And when you were outside of your group, this created a high reactivity in your body where you're always kind of on the lookout, because back in millennia ago, when you were away from people, you were much more likely to be eaten by a predator. You could starve, and this created a hyper metabolic state. So when you're in this state, you're always looking over your shoulder kind of thing, and this creates a restlessness. Now, he's saying that this restlessness is actually the spark for a lot of these other issues we're seeing, such as depression, anxiety, obesity, which is a spark from those two as well, diabetes, which can sometimes spark from a lack of health, which is found in obesity. So all of these things in some way lead back to loneliness, and we're having an epidemic of this in this country where we know thousands of people, but does anyone truly know who you are? That was one line from his speech that really stuck out to me, was he said, someone has 1,000 friends on Facebook, but how many people truly know you? I mean, just at least for me, thinking about that in my life, that really hit me too, because I spend so much time in school and work, and yes, I have these interactions with teachers and the kids I coach and whatnot, but how many people can I truly say at the end of the day know me, know who I am? Now, I'm not saying that I feel lonely in any way. I have a lot of outlets in where I have social outings, but there's a lot of people in this world that don't. And this is a huge public health crisis for us, and that is why it's deemed as from the Surgeon General, that is an epidemic. He's found that loneliness reduces life expectancy by the same amount as if you smoked 15 cigarettes a day. And to even make this more astonishing, in the past 3 years, the American life expectancy has reduced each of the past 3 years as medicine has gotten progressively better. So what is this factor? And to the Surgeon General, he's found it's loneliness. That this need to be needed is not being met, and it's reducing life expectancy, reducing not will to live, but desire to further your health. Because when you're in this lonely state, you're less likely to make healthy decisions. I at least know if I've had a stressed out day or anything like that, I might not pick the most healthy decisions in my life. I might not go exercise for the day. I am studying nutrition. It's what I want to do with my life. I might not even make the best nutrition decisions for the day. So that's really alarming in how just a little bit of stress, a little bit of loneliness can change our entire outlook on life. So I want to thank you guys for listening to all of this. I really found this a fascinating topic, and the fact that something as a mental health disorder could be the true number one threat to American public health by the Surgeon General was just something I found really amazing. So I hope you guys found this as interesting as I did. Thank you.